Real men love babies.
What?
Left. There's a billboard that just says.
Why is it written in like a comedy movie poster font?
Real men love babies.
Wah, wah, wah.
Where's the baby?
Okay, so guys, I want to talk about meat cloning.
Honey hole.
Meat cloning is the future. I'm so excited for it.
So yeah, I'm sure you guys heard about like lab meat. First of all, I'm super into lab meat. Like that's the best idea ever.
It needs a much better name.
The way we get meat now is the most disgusting thing possible. I don't understand people who look at lab
why
meat
is that disgusting?
and, like, ripping it off of the hide of a living creature. That's pretty awful.
That's not how meat works.
No, you have to
that
kill
is
the
not how
creature
meat works
to
at
get the
all.
meat, typically.
Here's how meat works. You get an
It
animal.
was once living. The point is, the alternative is that we can now start growing meat in laboratories and stuff, which is pretty cool. But what it also means is that combining with gene splicing, we can grow any meat that we want. So somebody pointed out that since they're like working on cloning with a woolly mammoth, someday we could have mammoth burgers, and that just rocks.
I'm pretty okay with this actually.
Apparently, people tasted the mammoth that they found frozen.
Really?
Because it was probably stale.
Yeah, it said it was terrible.
Well, sure, it's been frozen in ice for like 3,000
I think it
years.
had some freezer burn, maybe. You know.
No, I'm pretty sure it was just a. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe
They
it was
cook it?
Well, obviously they didn't eat it
No, they
raw.
ate it
That
raw.
would be disgusting.
Because little did you know, all of our scientists are like bloodthirsty marauders that just find frozen things to rip in half with their teeth.
Did you,
I mean, this is a very strange thing to do in the first place. I don't think it's taking it that far to say that they would try.
Must eat science.
Did you know that?
Hey, the dome.
No, not quite yet. That is a monolithic dome, but it is not the institute of them.
Nor is it the Farrell Center, which is the best dome.
What a shame. Doesn't even have an Oculus. What a rip.
It's though apparently like did you guys ever?
Not what a rift.
No, what a rip. I like Oculus.
I learned somewhat recently that mammoths actually were alive when the ancient Egyptians were, which
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's weird.
Huh.
They weren't like in Egypt; they were somewhere else.
No,
but
they were totally in Egypt.
They were actually there were mammoths still living on the earth while Egypt was building the
This
pyramids.
is closer to the thing like, or this is like the stat that like Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the internet than the building of the Great Pyramids.
Yeah, and it's this irritating thing. Like it's one thing that I would actually like to sit down and try to learn. I don't know if there's like a book that comprehensively chronicles the timeline of Earth history or something.
We call
But,
that
like,
history class.
My understanding of like the pacing of human development is just very incomplete.
Oh yeah.
It's very difficult to get a grasp on, and it's
I
just
think
like
you two probably have a better grasp on it than I do, for example.
The thing is, I learned that Romans and Greeks had concrete.
yeah,
Yeah.
I invented concrete.
I did not understand. I thought that concrete was like, you know, an 1800s thing.
There are a lot of things like that. It's just kind of like schools and I don't know. It's just we've sort of developed like the Roman theme and like the Egyptian theme, and so that's sort of what's
and it's
portrayed
all depending
more
on like
often.
whether you're talking about Western, like we got the printing press around 1500. China had the printing press for 700 years at that point.
Really?
Yeah. Like
China's
the
kinda
printing
closed
press
off.
is what launched us into the Industrial Revolution because
Yeah.
we could suddenly disseminate information in a reasonable manner.
See, they kept it though, like for a long time, and then someone stuck out with it. That's pretty much.
It's just like 700 years they'd already had. Like,
I guess
what?
it's really only now that we actually have like global communication networks that everybody's advancing at the same pace. I
That's
guess.
why everybody hates each other because we're like, whoa, what the heck? I can suddenly realize that person over there is different than me. It sucks. We're currently in the portion of
Delicious
human history
detour ahead.
where everybody realizes exactly how rough everyone else is and they're grinding up against each other and we have to wait till everybody gets ground smooth like gyms.
But see, I keep thinking like I don't. It's I hear people talking about I don't know, like whenever you hear people mention the world getting generally worse, like those people are idiots. Like that's just such bullcrap. Like the world sucked.
Yeah, the
back
world- no,
before
definitely.
before like 50 years ago, the world was crap. Like, it wasn't even that long ago.
In 20 years, we'll think that 10 years ago the world was crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's only progressively getting better.
Well, I mean, we have a bunch of nice stuff, but I don't think that we're like happier than people.
No, well,
used
it's
to
not.
be overall.
It's fun. I mean, like,
I don't know. I would actually, I would disagree.
Okay, well, actually, maybe a larger section of the portion of the globe is happy
human
because there's less
biology
poverty
is
or
not
something,
super conducive to happiness.
If nothing else, it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, it definitely
we may not
hasn't
be
gotten
happier,
worse.
but we ought to be.
Yeah. There are definitely more opportunities to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything, just in general, I don't know, it's just, it was...
Oxbow Steakhouse?
In the most civilized places on Earth, the human beings were still owned like a couple generations ago. There's been a pretty massive leap in overall quality of life in only a few decades.
Well, especially, here.
Yeah, here specifically, it's a lot.
There's still places
Even in
where
other
people
places,
are
though,
owned.
In Europe, it's fine.
People I think a lot of people don't see the progress because they only focus on like the U.S. and the Western area. But like, I think like I read somewhat recently that like poverty has people living under the poverty line has like halved in India and China and like all these other places more easterly than we are.
Yeah.
It's like they're still pretty big because we got a bunch of stuff. Like I was just saying, everybody's kind of advancing at the same rate, but there's still quite a gap in some places. And we maybe we don't have flying cars yet, but the rest of the world is catching up to us finally. Like they're
but here's
TVs and the internets and
survey. Everybody answer. What is the largest country whose population you would sacrifice entirely if we suddenly had flying cars? If that would give us flying cars, huh?
This is a question to see who's the most racist person.
I wouldn't do that.
Why would I answer this?
Yeah, no. Everybody has a country.
Horrible
No,
question is that? I would not
Ian,
do that ever.
You're incorrect in this scenario.
Dang it, I was really hoping
What the heck
somebody
is
would
wrong
answer.
with you, Ian?
The question you asked
Reed
is
is not in the car. No one's going to jump to some answer.
Yeah, I'm really used to Reed being here.
Reed would just say India immediately.
You literally just asked the question, hey, everyone, be racist.
No,
It's like,
he didn't ask that. He said, hey, guys, how much mass genocide would you commit to get a car that could go in two different directions?
You're not. This has nothing to do with race.
No.
This is only numbers.
This car can go in two different directions.
Two extra directions, two more directions.
Okay.
I'd
Just
actually
drive up a
happy
hill,
with one that
then
would
drive down
only
a
go
hill.
up. I think the down it could go just fine without it.
That's actually true. Planes.
Like, not even Monaco? Nobody would just, destroy Monaco for flying cars?
I don't know
No!
what Monaco is. What is Monaco?
It's not a real country. I mean, it is a real country.
It's like a principality. It's a real place. There are people there, Ian. People would be dying.
I misread sometimes. He would be terrible for me. Would anybody really miss the Vatican?
Well, we got the mass genocide out of the way, so...
Yes! What the heck is wrong with you?
I'm just trying to bait Reed, that's all.
He's not...
No, we're
We've
gonna
already
ask him
established this. He's not even going to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, but we're gonna ask him when we're there. In 30 miles, we're gonna ask him.
Wait, Reed isn't coming.
I don't... We're stopping near Waco, apparently, so that we can stop at some magical Subway restaurant, so...
I thought we were going to Bucky's.
Oh, wait, yeah. Which one are we doing?
I like
Didn't we
Buc-ee's
decide
a lot.
Bucky's?
We can do Buc-ee's if you want.
There's a very likely chance that we're not going to even run into Reed if we go there, so...
I have no idea what he's doing right now.
I just like Baylor is all.
Oh, here's where the Harley Davidson is. That's right. Okay. I forgot about this.
I mean, really, the
this
whole...
lane sucks.
It's supposed to be the fast lane.
They all suck.
The
I don't remember the
Texas
math
that
on it,
keeps
but there
you
was actually I read like a scientific explanation for why other lines always look like they're moving faster than the one you're in.
Yeah.
It's like a really weird psychological trick.
We
And there's
don't-
numbers that go into it, so I don't remember any of it.
We just don't pay attention when they're not moving. The other ones aren't moving.
Also, fun fact, speeding basically doesn't get you anywhere faster.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not when you're...
Like, just in general, like, even if you have an open road, if you go 15 miles above the speed limit, you may get to your destination 3 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
It takes, you have to double your speed and go twice the speed limit to actually make any sort of significant
And
progress.
it seems like that should be pretty obvious, but then when you're there on an empty road, you're just like, well, I could be going faster than this, so I'm gonna...
Am I the only one who doesn't speed on an empty road?
I really don't speed, because I don't believe a road is ever truly empty. Someone's gonna show up, and it's gonna be a cop.
I mean,
Yeah.
an invisible car just going.
I mean, we have actually had vans warp in from nowhere before.
Ugh.
Oh, so John actually put forward a pretty interesting theory about the whole Quinn Cooks thing.
Oh, God.
Theory
Which
time.
was
Theory time.
I'll have to have him explain it again, actually, because I didn't remember it. But it was us from the future, and it actually made more sense than anything I had come up with so far. So
If we're us from the future, we're kind of dicks to ourselves.
What's the point, though? I'm surprised that there is a future me. It probably kill my past self somehow. In a
That was a
weird,
bummer.
in a weird, struggle, like in a chemical plant.
Like your future self kills
That just
your
turns
past
you
self?
into a supervillain. That's all that happens there.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be a supervillain or whatever. You know, whenever I have free time.
But you're not actually villainous enough to destroy
I
the
mean this
population
only
of
as a
the entire
compliment. I
country.
don't think you could pull off supervillain.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like you're Kyle.
I think I could pull off supervillain in a very subtle way. Like more.
I think you could be an accessory to supervillainy.
I'd be more of a puppet master than a I'm gonna rob a bank and then dump hot oil all over the orphanage. or I would be that. I'd just be like the cartoony villain.
Now you'd do it, but before you'd be like, "Hey guys, I was gonna pour this oil over there. Is that okay?
See,
Do you mind?"
You vastly underestimate my hatred towards children.
It's true. I've never seen you and a child in the same place.
Well, they are
Considering
on a weekly
that's my
basis,
job.
actually.
Wait, what is your job?
Teach children art.
Really?
And sometimes teenagers and
Really?
sometimes adults. Yes.
Where do you do that?
The place we just met to drive here.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Oh! I'm gonna get out of this car and beat up the person in that Jeep.
Why?
Because they are
That flashing
so,
light is making me want to die.
They are so bad with their brakes, it makes me just want to drop kick them. I've said drop kick like 8 times today, but I don't know. I just really want to stick both my feet in someone's face.
You know, most people don't actually think of drop kicking as drop kicking. They really think of it as punting. But drop kicking.
No, that's dropping something that you then kick. A drop kick is you are going to kick something, then drop, and probably break your arm.
Yeah, so you did it right. I like that.
I would say punt if I meant punt. In order to punt something, it has to be much smaller than you, or like a giant beach ball. I love giant beach balls. They're so awesome.
Mm-hmm. They're nice.
Like no situation cannot be improved by a giant beach ball.
This car ride would not be improved by a giant beach ball.
Okay,
You're
it's not
right,
this isn't a
Kyle.
situation. This is like a mundanity. Name a situation besides an enclosed space.
That is the situation. I win. I already beat you.
No. You can't do that.
What is in that thing?
Okay, here's the thing.
I believe that's a hearse.
For what?
For a giant foot.
Clown shoes.
Congratulations, you beat the foot.
I've never seen a trailer shaped like that. That is so weird.
It's probably filled with chickens or pigs.
It looks like something that would be in a kindergarten classroom, like a really poorly made toy.
Yes, you're right. It does. Also, the handle is in a weird way. Why is the handle down?
Because the guy painting it on didn't actually do any research.
The handle isn't painted on. That's a real handle. Good
He's
for
right,
you,
Kyle.
man. What else? What was I talking about before you distracted me?
Beach balls.
Yeah, okay. So the situation cannot be
I
smaller
almost
than
did it, Rachel. You ruined it.
the situation cannot be smaller than the beach ball itself. That is
What?
that's like okay, so like
How big is the beach
like I
ball
said,
exactly?
so let's say it's 3 feet by 3 feet.
What is the conversion rate between beach ball measurements and situation
So
measurements?
you can't the beach ball has to fit in the situation. Like,
Are we talking about the Jersey Shore guy?
no, no, that's gross. No, the giant beach ball has to fit inside the situation comfortably. That's the only thing to
No,
this.
I'm only picturing the guy now. I'm sorry.
Fine. The situation has to also be there, and he has to start. He has to throw the beach ball first. So okay, name a situation besides the situation that could not be improved by a giant beach ball, and I will prove you wrong. Besides, inside a small.
I still feel like I've
No.
presented my case.
Fine. You know what? Go Ian and Rachel. I want to hear yours.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What's going on?
Trying to see how many times we can get Ethan to say beach ball.
You want to go buy a Harley Davidson? Let's go buy a Harley Davidson.
Okay.
We buy 4 Harley Davidsons and just ride them the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm pretty sure Harley Davidsons are extremely expensive.
Not if you steal them.
All right. I forgot to imagine it with any gas.
Oh, God.
I'm glad that you got that
What was that
reference.
from? I recognize
Shark
that.
Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh.
I forgot to imagine it with any gas. What?
I saw that once.
It was great, wasn't it?
I forget that that's where Taylor Lautner
Oh
started
my
off
god,
with.
it was Taylor Lautner.
Want to
Yeah.
know the best part about that whole movie? Bee breath.
See, you remember this movie in way too high
Yeah,
of
no,
detail.
I
I
don't
don't
remember it.
I remember George Lopez's giant head. I don't remember
Evil
why.
George Lopez.
It was like Spy Kids, but worse.
Yeah, no, that
It was by the same
vibe I got
director.
from
It was the same director.
Yeah, but it was,
Yeah, it was definitely the same person.
Evil George Lopez.
Didn't they make another Spy Kids just recently?
They made 5 of them, I think. There's 4 Spy Kids. I count Shark Boy and Lava Girl as the unofficial third. Spy Kids 3D was just garbage.
terrible. Just the worst. Even though it actually,
It had a chance of being good.
it was filmed in Austin. I mean, they were all filmed in Austin, but it was just like Austin was just.
Devastated.
I believe there was a giant
Sylvester.
Sylvester Stallone who like walked over the Capitol building or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh god. I forgot. I always
What?
forget. The climax of Spy Kids 3 is just like the least memorable part because it's all the characters from all of the TV, or all of the movies coming together to beat up giant Sylvester Stallone.
How was that the least memorable climax of all the movies?
Because it
really
was
bad.
terrible.
It's really bad.
Yeah, no, I didn't remember.
How do you ruin that?
The scene I remember the most is Wart Kid and his love interest running around in circles in a giant Robo Battle Coliseum.
I remember it was like that, like the foam bat fight, but like in space or something.
I do not remember that at
I remember
all.
that being like one of their games. You know, like at the Ren Fair actually they have something where it's like the stick with the 2 foam bits on the end, and you like hit each other.
yeah,
and knock
American
each other
Gladiator
off.
style?
Ear Cleaner Death Match.
But they were like on like floating platforms or something.
No, I think that was Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
No, it was definitely the video game thing that they were
Oh,
in.
I remember that. And they were floating around on like squares, right?
Yeah.
And that's when like the one kid was like, "Sorry, man, I need new shoes," and then he beat like Carmen up or whatever. God, that was such a weird thing.
Well, the movie the henchmen in the first movie were made of thumbs, Ethan.
That was the second movie.
No, that was the first one.
It was the first one.
Was it the first one?
First
The
one.
second one was
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the miniature dinosaurs.
First
and
one was a
skeletons.
fluke.
I
The
don't
second
actually
one
remember
was
anything about the second one at
it
all.
was surprisingly
They
okay.
went to some island.
There was an island, and then like they
There
fell
were
down.
miniature. I wanted those miniature dinosaurs. That's all I remember.
I remember really liking.
Or like an
the-
elephant. There was like a 2-inch elephant, and I wanted
liked
that
the-
elephant.
I
What's
like
in the
science-
box?
An elephant.
Let's ask Alan Bracey.
Oh, it's probably
Trailer by
it's a
Alan
sports car.
What?
Well, it used to carry a sports car.
Yeah, it might actually be carrying another vehicle.
Rough
It is
Riders
shaped
Pit
right.
Crew. It's the Rough Riders. It used to be the Rough Riders Pit Crew. I think he just bought it and then painted over it in like red.
Okay, so we steal it. We steal the car. We take that. We go sell it for Harley Davidsons.
All right, I'm okay with this. I will trade you a dozen donuts for a Harley Davidson.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I will not tell you what kind the donuts
Oh
are.
no, totally off.
But I will promise you that there will at least be one chocolate with sprinkles. The other
Actually-
ones will be mystery flavors that are going to blow your mind.
I'll actually eat any flavor of donut or those little chocolate boxes that you can get. Like I'll eat all of it. I've never had a problem
Well,
with
'cause
any
you
of that.
don't
Like
taste.
everybody else seems to like have weird particular favorites
I don't
when it comes to
have
those things.
favorites.
I'll just eat all of it.
I just don't like a strawberry caramel.
Or someone will buy them and like, ew, this one has like toothpaste in it or whatever, and I'll be like, that's fine.
Kyle, that's gross. Kyle, don't eat toothpaste donuts.
No, I was talking about the chocolate.
Don't eat toothpaste donuts either.
Did you just quote Jimmy Neutron?
What?
This astronaut food's really good. Carl! It's toothpaste. I watched that movie while playing Commander.
What movie?
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron.
Oh yeah, okay.
I watched Jimmy Neutron while playing Commander, like, I think a month ago. It was the worst experience of my entire life. Because, like,
Combination or
well, no, like, it was pretty great. It was pretty great. Like, I'm joking about it being the worst, but just, like, conceptually, it's the worst idea ever. Because, like, I was over at a friend's house, and he's like, hey, you want to put something on the TV? I have Netflix. So we watched, like, the first 4 episodes of Wings, and then I was like, this is getting boring. Let's watch something else. So I grabbed the remote, and I was like, oh, hey, they have the Jimmy Neutron movie on here. So then we watched that while we were playing Commander. And it was just, once in a while, we'd look up, and, like, Jimmy would say something really stupid, and we would laugh. Oh, I hated that movie.
What's actually the plot of the
Wait,
Jimmy
what?
Neutron movie?
The plot of
their
the Jimmy
parents get
Neutron
kidnapped
movie.
by egg-shaped aliens to be sacrificed to a giant chicken. They have to go rescue them by
Yeah.
building spaceships out of carnival rides.
Thanks, Kyle.
Good job.
That was very succinct. I remember it, sort of.
I remember
Right.
Sheen being a jerk. Or not Sheen, Nick.
I love that movie. I love the show. It was great.
The show was not great.
Show was fantastic.
It was not great.
It was terrible, but in a kind of good way.
It was that weird, like, creepy 2000s CG.
Yeah, no, it was definitely...
Carl, you're pregnant.
Okay, that was weird.
Carl! Remember that one, like, thing you said in the first movie? That's now your entire character.
Toothpaste?
No, Carl did not like llamas in the first movie.
Right.
He mentioned a llama once.
I thought he loved llamas. That was his whole thing.
That was his whole character throughout the show.
Yeah.
Because the movie predates the show, which I did not know.
You didn't.
I thought
saw
it
that
was.
movie
I
in
thought it was
theaters.
after.
What was after?
I thought the movie was after, like,
The show
the first
always
season.
comes after the movie.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they got cut to like, you know, a 20th of their original animation budget.
It looked better than the movie, though.
I just
Some of the
remember like
episodes.
one point where like somebody gets knocked through the air and they just kind of go like up then down without changing orientation or anything. It just looks.
I mean, it was on long enough that they had 3 crossover episodes with the Fairly Odd Parents.
Which is
Which
the
were
weirdest
really
show.
disconcerting. I love I love the Fairly Odd Parents so much. That's the best.
It's
of
pretty much
those
anything that they've
shows.
done outside of the.
I mean, you loved it while you were watching it.
I still
the thing
love it.
is, no, Rachel, it still exists.
I know. Okay, no, it keeps going.
It's still being made.
Oh,
Yeah,
I probably don't love it.
They've made a
now.
live-action movie.
With Drake Bell.
Twice!
Was Drake Bell Timmy Turner?
Yes!
No.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
in the
he
movie,
was.
Drake
Who
Bell
were
was
Cosmo and
an
Wanda?
adult. They were animated.
They were weird animated.
Ew.
Yeah.
Why
So,
would you?
yes.
Timmy
Every
Turner
part of-
goes through puberty on Christmas and has to go beat up Santa or whatever, and then
What?
Isn't it so... It's so weird how Drake and Josh totally switched places after their TV show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Drake was like kind of successful and stuff.
He
and
was
things.
mildly... He was like... He played a guitar. Like, he was the cool guy. He could sing. He is still on Nickelodeon. Josh, I saw him in like an action movie like the
Yeah,
last
no,
time.
it was Red Dawn,
Yeah.
where he was supposed to be related to Channing Tatum.
That was funny.
So
He even showed up in The Big Bang Theory, and not this is saying much, but was like the coolest guy in the show.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
What I find weird about Drake and Josh is like, apparently one of my friends follows like one of the two's Twitter feed, and like,
Drake Bell is on Twitter a lot. It's probably
okay,
him.
it's probably him. So someone was following Drake Bell's Twitter feed, and like they said, like I know, like whoever it was said, I noticed this the other day. Season 1 of Drake and Josh. Drake helps Josh get a date with someone who he's crushing on. Season 3, Drake and Josh sell an orangutan to a man who eats orangutans.
Yep. That is called Jumping the Shark.
I love that show. Even when it was terrible, it was
no,
great.
I loved it too.
I hated that show. I absolutely hated it.
The actual Jumping the Shark episode was the one with the real alien in it.
Ugh.
I remember that happening.
I don't.
That was
I
weird.
hated the fact that the sister, who was my least favorite character, got her own show.
Did she? Oh, she
Oh,
did.
the
Okay.
actor got her own
The
show. It wasn't the
iCarly?
character.
No, I
Wait,
hated that
is
character, and I did not like. What was her name? Miranda?
Miranda Cosgrove. She
was
was in
okay. Everything Forever, even her own music career, which was very short-lived.
What is the movie? The best movie? The School of Rock. School
Yeah.
of Rock. She was in.
She
School
was
of
in
Rock.
School of Rock.
She was
Yeah,
great.
She was like the
Annoying
little
girl in School of
prodigy
Rock, yeah.
child, yeah.
Why is she typecasted as the slightly annoying girl?
Because she got cast in that one time, and so
Yeah.
that's
She
what
was,
happens. That's
Precocity
typecasting.
was her.
But she did a great job
Yeah.
in that one. But everybody did a great job in that one because
That was just a great, yeah.
Apparently, the bass player in the School of Rock was the only one who did not know how to play the instrument, because she
Oh,
did not.
cool.
She never got her own solo, and she also never was shown playing the instrument.
Oh, huh.
It's just bass. Who can? I would totally be a bass player if I could play music. I can't.
I can read music, I just can't play the bass. Like I don't know the chords very.
That was one thing that I never had. I honestly kind of wish my parents had forced me to go take piano lessons or something just for a little while when I was a kid, just so I could have had that bass knowledge, because I never got any of that. So I don't have I don't have any sense of music at all.
Yeah. I'm glad for my 3 years of
You should
oboe
buy one of
lessons
those.
or whatever.
One of those.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like when you're a kid, it's like it's irritating. But like now that I'm older and you don't actually remember doing it when you were a kid. It's just like now you're an adult and I know how to do music or can draw or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and force my kid to do some kind of athletic activity that will make them coordinated.
Well, see, my parents tried to do that with me. It didn't work,
Yeah.
but they at least tried.
What'd they try to make you do?
I was in basketball for like a
B-ball?
year in elementary school.
Man, I didn't know
We
that.
have videotapes of me like I would start off like playing the game and then would just glaze over. Like I would just be off in my own, doing like, I don't, just in my own head and just like wandering around the court while everybody else was playing the game.
That's awesome.
Gotta get your head in the game.
It was very obvious early on that this was not something that was going to capture my attention.
Yeah. I did swim team probably for 10 years, and that is the only athletic activity that I am above average at. It took that long to become above average.
It was insisted upon that me and Reed both like go through full swimming lessons for like several years and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always weird for me when I meet somebody who can't actually swim. Because I don't have to think about it at all. It's just a thing I can do because I was forced to take swimming lessons for several years.
I don't know anyone that can swim.
I never actually had a problem learning to swim. I took swimming lessons for like a year and then maybe. And I was just like, okay, I can swim now. Good.
When I was a kid, I didn't know how to swim because I never took lessons, and like, I think 3 of my babysitters almost drowned me.
Just
because
like
you had a pool in your backyard. Why did they not teach you how to swim?
This was when I was little, like Montessori school rather, like preschool.
Ah, well, yeah. Then you should have been near a pool in the first place.
Well, they were like, hey, let's go take a dip in the pool. And I'm like, I can't swim. And they're like, sure you can. And then I almost drowned.
See? That's
really
called murder.
Conversations for being a 3-year-old.
What?
You said before preschool.
Yes. This was like when I was like 5 or something, I think.
That should be in kindergarten.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't know.
Before preschool would have been like 2 or 3.
Fine. It was around preschool then. Around that era of my life. I don't remember. I was dumb and a kid.
That sounds like a name. This is Dumb and a Kid.
Dumb and a kid.
Dumb and a Kid. We're here with local legend Dumb and a Kid.
It sounds sort of like Dominican. Or Dominic.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh man, they put back up these. This is the Death Star trench. Oh yeah, except you're going like 30 miles an hour.
It's Buttery
It's
Jack.
okay, they were going about 30 miles an
You
hour.
want a
in the movie,
Buttery
too.
Jack? Hey Ian, want a Buttery Jack?
What?
Want a Buttery Jack?
That would mean that your car would just slip right off.
No! From Jack in the Box. A Buttery Jack.
Did they name the sandwich that?
A Buttery Jack. They named it a Buttery Jack. You want a Buttery Jack?
I don't really like eating things named after somebody's mascot.
Want a Wendys? Want a Wendys Wend?
I'd like the grilled Wendy. Oh my god!
Want a deep fried Wendy fries?
I've noticed that Wendy has been showing up in the commercials, like the actual
really?
person.
Yeah, the actual
Like
Wendy.
the granddaughter that it was named after or something is now the spokesperson for the company.
Well, they have her, and then they have like the Wendy's girl, which is like the one that's always like, oh, $5, and there's this guy with like a crappy chicken or whatever, and he's like $5, and she's like $5 with its giant, great-looking burgers.
You're too good at remembering commercials. Stop that.
That's every one of their commercials, to be fair. That is literally every one of their
You
commercials.
are strangely good at remembering details of pieces of media that everybody else forgets.
Fine, name something, and I'll attempt to remember something about it.
All dogs go to heaven.
Okay, I never watched that, so that doesn't count.
Cats can't dance.
Never watched it.
Cats
Oliver
don't
Twist.
dance.
Did any of you ever watch Space Cat? Me and Reed watched Space Cat when we were kids. It was the best.
Now I wish I could watch Space Cat.
There's a movie called like The Cat from Space or something.
Cat, that's
like
what it
that.
was. The Cat from Space. That's what it was.
I watched Cats vs. Dogs. That
There was a
fun
movie called The Cat from. It was one of those random Blockbuster impulse rentals, like where it was just cats, space, sure.
It was
Sign
like
me
a
up.
telekinetic cat.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah, I
a
know.
telekinetic psychic cat that could talk to people and help them cheat at pool or something. What was
This
it?
is just the movie A Talking Cat. We need to watch that.
We do. We still need to have bad cat movie night.
Unfortunately, none
And
of those
Samurai
things-
Pizza Cats. We need to watch
Oh
Samurai
yeah,
Pizza Cats.
we've been looking for a third thing. We should toss that in.
White Wings.
Samurai Pizza Cats, A Talking Cat, and Ellen Page's Ghost Cat.
Oh.
What?
No, but seriously,
It's on Netflix. It's called Ghost Cat, and it's starring Ellen Page.
name me more things, and I'll attempt to remember a piece of media based on them. Don't name me a show, because that's like, oh,
A given that
Can
you're
we
gonna
name
remember it.
movies?
sure.
It's okay.
I got-
Scamper the Penguin.
What?
Candlelight
Penguin.
Cove.
Oh no, I remember Candlelight Cove.
I don't.
Remember the guy who was Skin?
What?
Aren't
What
we all
movie?
scared? What are you talking about?
We go through this every so often. It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
We've told you like 15 times what Candlelight Cove is, Kyle.
Oh, okay,
We
right.
told
It's the-
you.
Yeah.
All right, what was the thing that you said though? Like you said,
Scamper the Penguin.
I remember the Pebble and the Penguin. That wasn't very
That's
good.
something else. Scamper the Penguin
That
is
was-
far superior.
That was just like Randy Newman's Penguin Hour. That's what the
We're just going through old blockbuster movies now.
All right, no, go on. I need more. More. Feed me.
What else? What did you guys?
Metabots.
What?
Well, Metabots, sure.
Not Vin Diesel's Bumblebee.
Metabots was. I still.
It's the show that you don't remember remembering.
It didn't exist until we remembered it. I swear to God.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like Hamtaro. I'm pretty convinced that Hamtaro wasn't a thing.
I had that video game.
Everyone else game
does.
too. The Game Boy Advance thing that had like the hamster dictionary.
It was so terrible. I don't think it was actually Game Boy
I
Color.
specifically mean like say Gushers or something. I'll remember a Gusher.
Gushers.
Everyone remembers Gushers.
I use that.
This is my favorite turn on all of I-35. I'll have you know.
I hate sarcastic favorite or actual favorite.
Actual favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
It's kind of cute because there's that church there, and it's like woo.
kind of cloggy. Yeah. Okay. Gushers. You remember the one where the kid was like, "I'm gonna eat a Gusher," and then he exploded into like goo?
Isn't that every
That's
Gushers
every
commercial?
Exactly. That's why I remember these. Remember on the Fruit Roll-Ups one where there was like a guy like, "I'm gonna eat a fruit roll-up." No, you're not. And then he like he turned into a roll or whatever, and then his kid ate him. But that's not horrifying at all.
90s commercials were weird.
Yeah. Oh,
John says he's not getting off work until 6:30.
man. What a banana. Mad Mongos. Oh no. What a Mongolian Grill.
It just sounds like you're saying mango weird.
I'm actually kind of curious about what they sell there. I don't think I've
It's
ever had.
probably-
They probably
Mongolian
sell
food.
grilled food that's from Mongolia.
You ever been to a Mongolian Grill?
I haven't.
It's a thing. I've never been to one either, but there are things.
They're-
I don't
they're-
really like them because you have to make your own food.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
It's like you make like a bowl of stuff, pretty much.
Are
And
they
then
all?
they fry it for you.
Yeah.
What is Mongolia's claim to fame other than barbarians?
Food.
The Mongols.
That's what I mean.
Throat singing.
Yurts.
Throat singing.
It's like a creepy. It's.
Okay. Yurts are pretty great, to be fair.
Yeah, throat singing. It sounds like a didgeridoo made by
Yeah,
the
no,
human voice.
I've heard it. It's pretty great.
They're overtoning. See, look, 2 miles. All the Buc-ee's things are so tremendously ominous.
They really are.
They used to have one that was like 2015.
It doesn't help that like his head looks like a hat that you put over your head to have a Buc-ee's face.
You know, I've
You
got
mean
to
a
say
mask?
also,
Is that what you're talking about?
No, but it's like, it looks like you wear it as a hat or a mask. Like that's how weird it looks.
I think it's actually more disconcerting sitting here with Delilah just staring at us and not saying anything than when she's trying to give us instructions.
I think when you dropped her, she lost her
I
mouth.
didn't drop her. She jumped. That was a suicide attempt.
If you would step back from that ledge, my friend,
Is that a suicide musical?
cut ties from all the lies you've been living.
Those
in.
are the lyrics to that song?
Yeah.
What song?
That's so terrible. How did I never notice that?
I would
song?
understand.
What are we talking about?
Jumper.
It's just, I don't know. It's a song. It's on the radio.
Say it again.
If you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Cut ties from all the lies that you've been living in. And if you would not want to see me again, I would understand.
I don't think that's real.
No.
That's a real song.
Want me to play it right now?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't,
Nope, doing it. Nope. We're doing this.
That sounds familiar.
It's called
You've
Jumper
definitely heard it.
by Third Eye Blind.
But I'd never.
Oh, is that the?
Wait,
Oh,
what?
no, wait, yeah.
Kyle.
Is that the one that's like, I would understand?
That's what I was just saying.
Ian, do you
No,
still have no
that's the one that goes.
No idea.
That's how it goes.
Well, let me tell you, it's the one where it goes like, I would understand.
I hate you so much.
I'm just wondering if it's the tune. I can only remember the tune. I can't actually remember the words, so I just mapped that on. But I think I might be right.
You're dumb.
Well, sometimes Ian tries to explain songs to me, and he sings them so badly, I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, you just suck it. There's only one song that I routinely hum to you, and it's the same song.
What are you talking
It's
about? The one that's like la 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 or whatever?
Ed Sheeran's Don't.
Which one is that?
Oh god, not the freaking movie. Ugh, not the movie.
I like Jumper.
That was a bad movie.
I never saw Jumper.
It was a bad
Now,
movie.
apparently, it was a really bad video game. It's like one of the lowest rated video games of
Is
all
this on?
time.
Is this on?
You push this and then there it goes.
It's totally fine. I mean, I feel bad because I really think that Hayden Christensen's a totally fine actor.
That was Hayden Christensen.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said Hayden
That was
Christians.
already on the tape.
Hayden Christians.
I really think that Hayden Christians are totally fine. That's not the right accent.
Alright, listen.
No, I know this one. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to sing.
I would
I've never
understand.
heard this song.
You haven't heard this song.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, our descriptions were accurate, were they not?
I mean,
There
yes.
you go. That was Jumper by Third Eye Blind. You are all enlightened to that piece of pop culture now.
Nah, you're punching back.
Oh.
What?
Why are you downloading things from Terraria?
What was the pun?
Still driving.
Third eye enlightened. I don't know. Was that not
Third eye
intentional? I
Third Eye
thought it was.
Blind.
Third eye blind means you're not enlightened, Kyle.
Take
It
that.
was related.
No, it's not. Nothing's related to anything. Oh.
That's sad.
Yeah.
There
it is!
Yeah, there's the Buc-ee's beacon. Should we have
missed
taken
it.
that exit?
Yeah, I think we missed it.
Yeah, 304 was our exit.
Oh.
Pop the barrier.
Yep.
I think we're not going to Buc-ee's, guys.
No, I think we can still make it. We just gotta like.
I mean, we'd have to turn around and get off and go. I mean, if we want to do that, that's probably fine. But
No, I think it's too late. Sorry.
That's
That's like that's one of the mall-sized Buc-ee's. That's not the one we
Exactly.
go
I
to on
wanna
the way to
go-
our
I wanna-
grandparents' house.
Can we go still?
they have a whole wall of candy.
It's true.
Oh, Kyle, you're
They
such
do.
a bummer.
It's too late. We're in the Death Star trench. We can't get out.
We can just take the next exit, Kyle. It's not that hard.
No.
Yeah. No.
I'm not going to loop around.
Fine, we'll just have to go to Baylor.
Gross. Or Taco Bell instead or whatever. Subway.
Taco Bell is not a substitute for Baylor, even if it is cheaper.
Yeah, traffic's bad.
So we missed the exit for the giant pagan temple that is Buc-ee's, and Baylor is basically a church. So.
Now I can't get a hat. A Buc-ee's hat.
She put the pushing cat.
What?
Avery posted another emote
Is this thing still recording?
thing,
Yeah.
and
I haven't been looking at it.
I mean, I assume it is.
she put the fat cat I wanted to put
Oh.
earlier.
Nice.
I mean, like, how do
There's no
we,
reason it shouldn't be.
How do we know if it's recording?
Is there something displaying on the screen?
Yeah, there's some
Or
things.
little bars jumping up and down
Yeah.
as we talk? And it's probably recording.
Alright, whatever you say, man. Don't blame me if it's not recording. Well, actually, do blame me because I turned it on.
That's
You
not-
didn't,
that
but
can't
I
be
appreciate
real,
you
can
taking
it?
the blame.
It's like worst cats, probably.
Like, yeah, the worst cats, and also what's that long cat or whatever?
What other
like,
songs do you
cat
guys want to
snake.
listen to?
Cat sneak.
Huh?
What other songs do you guys want to listen to?
I mean, I have a whole. I said I got a whole playlist. I figured I'd put it on once we were
Podcast it
done
out.
talking about. Yeah.
About Jumper by Third Eye Blind. That's gonna be my new like awkward pause thing to say. Like if we're ever in an awkward pause, not right now. I mean like in the future, I'll be like, "Hey, do you guys remember Jumper by Third Eye Blind?" Just bring it up always.
Did I ever tell you guys? I have one. I just remembered this.
Classic
randomly now
Kyle.
from a conversation me and Ethan were having earlier. But there's one random interaction I had with somebody. I'm thinking about it because Avery's been posting pictures of her hair on Facebook, right?
yeah.
At one point I posted, like I responded and it was like, because she posted a picture of her hair beforehand and then posted after she did whatever she did to it. And I looked at it and I responded and honestly said, I see no difference. I didn't explain it, I just said I see no difference. And so, she responded, I think some of her friends one of her friends was like, psh, boys, because all of her friends are mentally high schoolers. But like I just kept like, yeah, no, I just don't see it, and I don't think it's become clear that I can't actually tell that her hair color has changed, and it's just kind of fun messing with her. I'm not actually sure when it's gonna click.
That you're colorblind?
Yeah.
You couldn't? Yeah.
But me and Ethan were talking. I can't remember. We were talking about it earlier too, and it just reminded me of the best colorblind interaction story I've ever had. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you guys before, but it was at the Art Institute in one of my classes. I think it was a graphic design class, right? And so I had mentioned to the teacher that I was colorblind, so she knew. I'd said like, I have trouble seeing reds and greens or whatever, and it's barely a disability. Like it's not really a big deal or anything. But a lot of people don't get that at all, and this was just the supreme example of someone not quite understanding how it works. And so one day, she's writing something on a dry erase whiteboard with a green marker. And she turns to the class to talk and then stops, turns to me and points to the writing on the board and says, "Can you see that?" And one of my biggest regrets in life is not looking her right in the eye and saying, See what? It would have just been the best thing in the world, but I was just like so it's not invisible. It's not like green is actually absent from the color spectrum.
That would
for
be
me.
horrifying. Grass would be just death.
Yeah, what about all the trees?
It'd be like in Minecraft where you can see through into the tunnels underneath the ground.
To be fair, it doesn't really make any sense how it doesn't work. Because it doesn't make any sense. You actually just live in a different dimension, Kyle.
I mean, I think it scientifically does make sense. I
You're
haven't
just,
really put much
you're just
research
my
into
uncle's
it.
superhero.
No, there's no
that he
sense
made
behind
a long
it.
time ago.
Science doesn't work. It's actually the biggest mystery of humankind.
That's pretty great. That reminds me of like a long time ago. My uncle was telling me a story about how he made a superhero who had these goggles that allowed him to see through everything except one thing, and the one thing he could not see through was glass. So his car was literally a tank made of iron. Just like, and if anyone took a ride in his car, they were horrified because it was just him like shouting at people driving poorly while not being able to see through anything. And like every time that he looked, like everyone was like looking out a window, he's like, I don't get it. What is this? And it's just a void that he couldn't see through.
I was like, James Bowman, Donkey's Bazooka. He made his big Newgrounds series was a supervillain series, and he had all of his supervillains had these powers that the only way they could activate them were by doing totally contradictory things.
Yeah.
So there was like one of the guys was he could make everyone else go blind, but he had to close his eyes to do it. Or like the one guy who could stop time by holding his breath, but he was a heavy smoker.
This is like the Mystery Men thing where there's a guy who's invisible when no one's looking.
I'm pretty sure I can also do that.
Did somebody really comment and just say boys?
What?
Yeah,
Who did that?
I don't know.
I need
one
to
of
hate them more.
Nicki Minaj.
Either Jenna or the other one.
Good job.
They don't listen to these either. It's okay.
No, they totally do, and now they hate all of us.
I've given them reasons to hate me before, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure I've given everyone a reason to hate me. I'm pretty sure you hate me. You just haven't fessed it up yet.
It's called existing.
This is Ethan, everyone.
See, the thing is, I've made it meta now because I know that you're like, Ethan. No, I'm like, I'm gonna make this a thing, and I'm gonna be as like temperamental and difficult as possible in making you hate me.
I'm gonna hate you for that.
Aha! I win.
Do you? I'm confused now.
Yes. When everyone hates me, no one will suspect when I save the world.
Is that something you want to hide?
Yes.
You're embarrassed?
Yeah, I don't want to save the world. It's embarrassing. Like, look at him. He did something, and I'm like, oh.
Kyle, that car's more exciting than yours.
It's
Probably.
lime green.
Oh, right. You probably can't see it.
Oh. I'm so mad that we missed Buc-ee's. Now what, are we going to go to the Shell station? Oh, great. Man, I can't wait to go to the brand new Shell station.
You see, look, this is like so much less appetizing, even though it's advertising literally 4 times as much as any one of the Buc-ee's signs.
I thought it said fresh hot restrooms, and I was really confused.
Aw, yeah.
That's what I needed. A fresh hot restroom.
Now, most gas station bathrooms aren't either of those things, so...
I think they're the second one.
Fun fact, I once spent 3 hours in this red brick building because I had to abandon my car by the side of the road because it had frozen over.
This one.
Oh wait, we stopped there on the way to pick up your stuff last time, I remember.
Big Reds.
Yeah.
Oh, Troy.
Troy?
This is Troy,
What's Troy?
the city.
Oh,
Also, another city
Does
a long time
advertising
ago.
work?
I'm not
Just
gonna remember
did.
that.
It was kind of famous.
You patronize me, son.
There are lots of, for non-Texan people, even us in Texas ignore most of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's too much of it for us to know.
There is, in Texas we have Austin, Dallas, Houston,
San Antonio.
Everything's
arguably Lubbock. It's debatable. And I think
Lockhart,
that's it, right?
Lockhart for barbecue?
Well, but that's only like everybody has a connection to one little town for some reason.
Yeah, but barbecue. No, okay, and Shiner?
I'm not sure. I'm
Where's
not sure I can
Shiner?
distinguish Shiner. Mine, I have Beaumont because my grandparents lived there, and that was it.
Shiner makes beer, though, so.
What
Oh.
about Waco? Waco's a thing.
Waco's
Waco,
actually
I guess.
huge.
Well, Baylor's a thing.
Waco is
rapidly
actually
Waco
very.
2 is a thing.
Waco was a very prominent city before Baylor.
Yeah, but wasn't it because somebody burned himself alive there, or was it something before that?
That's exactly why every city is big, Kyle.
Okay, so here's the
They
deal
had
with
to
Waco.
make the initial sacrifice.
Waco was a huge industrial center. It was going to be fantastic. It was like a booming city.
It was Silicon Valley.
And then there was like a tornado that came through and destroyed like everything.
Oh wow!
And then
That's why they
everybody,
call it Waco.
when they were trying to rebuild, it was cheaper to rebuild up north, and that's why Dallas became a big city. So Waco was first Dallas, and then so the problem is we have like this huge sprawling like pre-industrial boom city, and then like nothing to support it. So Waco just fell into a black pit of itself.
You know what? I would actually I'm still interested in doing some form of that space series that we were having.
I would love to do that space series.
So I wanted to mention just like some of it. Like I've been actually really enjoying doing all of the video game parodies a lot. Like it's just really fun to do, just because you get to work with it's fun working with pre-existing stuff.
Yeah.
I think just because you can work in the assets everyone's familiar with. Like people were somebody actually noticed that like the buildings outside in the Skylines video were the assets from the game. You know, you can do stuff like that. And then you have people who already made the game to work. I don't know. It's been really fun. Like
No, we are not picking up fireworks even.
We're not picking up reworks. We're not picking up iReworks.
Fireworks?
My parents have actually told me that when I was very young, I would wake up in the morning and just decide I was a specific character that day and wouldn't respond to them unless they addressed me as that character.
That's horrifying.
Jeez, Kyle, would be a dick.
And I had costumes all like I was Spider-Man for 3 years in a row, including Halloween. Like I just had a costume and would just wear that around. And I just realized like a few weeks ago that I'm doing that every weekend again now.
Yeah,
it's just what I get to do, and so that's been great. And yeah, it's just like I don't know. I get much more into them than I have with like our skits that aren't based on video games. But what I think I would like to do, and I think it's just because there's no actual previous investment in those, and so I think it would be nice to keep focusing on the video game parodies because those are obviously working very well. But then when we do our own stuff, to maybe try to move it toward making it more story-based, I guess.
Yeah.
And like actually more with like actual characters, because that's what I enjoyed doing to begin with. I think that's the issue is when we try to make. And for me, I lose interest faster. I think is what it is when we do skits that I personally don't have any investment in to begin with. Like it's a lot easier when I get to that part where it's like, you know, I'm struggling to finish up audio recording or, you know, I'm having problems with it, to just be like, I don't care about this anymore, I'm not going to put that much effort in. So yeah, I think it'd be cool to try to do more things like that, like the space thing, or like the homeless guy. Like, that guy's great. I love doing those videos. The last 2 times we've done that, those have been really fun. More things like that, I think, would be more enjoyable. You know, like the occasional one-off one, like Knock on Wood was kind of fun. I like that idea.
We still have our Russian saga.
I still would like to do some of the Russian guy videos, even though nobody really seemed that interested. That's actually like the least viewed video so far.
Well, that one was like also the least interesting of the 3 we have worked out.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think it'd be fun. I think I'm gonna rework what the space thing is sort of about. Because originally the basic idea was to sort of it was gonna be about like us, essentially, like an alternate universe version of us, because I wanted to make some kind of series to showcase just our lives or whatever, but I didn't just want to make it sitcom-y, because that's what, I mean, every sitcom, I'm pretty sure, originates from somebody being like, our lives are so wacky, we should show everybody, and it just seemed boring. And then when I was first discovering Star Citizen, I remember thinking, it'd be really cool if we could all just crew a spaceship, and then those 2 ideas just collided and made something awesome. But by now, it also feels like I've basically like fulfilled whatever desire I had to share you guys with everybody.
Oh,
through
good.
all of the comment responses and everything. Like I pretty much accomplished most of that. Which is probably a good thing though, because it means we can like take that idea and then develop our characters into their own people, and probably make it more interesting. I think it'd be more fun that way.
It's a very deep thicket of trees.
Although I did want to steal the Baylor bow tie from the guy at Baylor.
But we can still do that. That's like that's what I was bringing it up because we were talking about Texas, and the one part that has stuck with me that I really love is building a fake solar system based on the Texas cities. I really thought that was like a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
it would be a lot of fun. So I think we can still do that. It would just be less meta commentary about our own lives than it was originally.
Which is great, because my life has been really boring recently. So
it's just, we've covered all of our stories and things within these podcasts, and even representing some things in our weekly videos. So it seemed unnecessary to cover that same ground again, particularly when, I don't know, it's been weird. We've made 21 videos now.
Yeah.
22? Like, it's been a lot. Like, I wasn't really thinking what it was going to be like once we've made that much, but it's I don't know, it's like we've now done a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, so.
Oh god, we're going to have to start expanding.
So yeah, it's like, and that's just been my thoughts on it. That's what I've been wanting to actually, like, talk to more of you guys at once, just to see what you were interested in and what your thoughts on the whole thing were, because I've been working on it so much I haven't actually gotten any, I don't know, feedback on it from you. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking, is trying to move into doing more things like that.
Bruce Evil.
I'm gonna be, I'm starting on the guards themselves this week.
Are you?
So I'll be wrapping. That's gonna be a thing that we're wrapping up. If you can get those mouths going, we could even get Fable 3 experience.
Oh god.
It's gonna help you guys.
Who knows, maybe by the end of our year block, what we'll actually have accomplished is, like, getting caught up with our own stuff.
Half-Life 2 confirmed.
No, wait. No. I got Ethan.
Oh, Ethan's so wacky, making dumb jokes that don't make sense. Remember the time that I made that joke?
Yeah, it was a good one. No, wait, sorry, I was thinking the other joke. That one sucked.
Oh. I don't know. I mean, like, I pretty much just do whatever you point at and tell me to do.
That's why I'm mentioning it all now, because I was wondering.
As soon as gonna get some
have
point.
any opinions
Got
on
dirty
any of it?
birds?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I guess about all of
GotDirtyBirds.com.
Billboard comes a little later.
Considering my bird is now a skeleton. Maybe slightly dirty.
Should we explore that, or should we leave it alone?
The skeleton bird? Oh, I just had a bird when I was a kid. It was a great bird. I had it for a long time. And it died a peaceful death. It lived a long, happy life.
But you still have the skeleton somewhere?
No, it's probably buried in our yard. I mean, that's where all birds go. In my yard. No, but I don't know. You suggested that I might want to do the gameplay thing, because now that I upgraded my computer...
I do. I actually want to... If you want to contribute, I'm actually trying to get it to where John and Jeffrey are managing that channel on their own.
I'll just stream that. I don't care.
I've had a few people... But no, well, that's the thing. Like, by managing, I mean, like, they do their own stuff, but we can also send them things. Like, I would like to record gameplay videos, but I do not have time to edit them. And so if they wanted to take over control of that channel, then I could send them stuff on occasion to edit. You could send them stuff on occasion to edit. And, I don't know, we could actually spread the work among the group a little bit more.
The thing is, like,
actually get more stuff accomplished.
The only conflict with that is I have a conflict of interest, because I'm also trying to get my own thing started.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you don't have to. I don't be forcing you to do anything. But.
Like, I'm going to be streaming for myself and for my channel, which has not officially started, because we're still working on the little studio, which should be done actually by summer, and then I'll be pumping out videos like oil rigs pump out oil.
I remember that Minecraft mod.
Oh, I hated that Minecraft mod.
It wasn't near as good as Tekkit. Tekkit's still my favorite.
Tekkit was pretty great.
I hate everything about multiplayer Tekkit. Because it's like, I'm going to log off for the night. Everyone's still in wooden shacks. I log back in. There's just like a city based on industry next to my fishing pond.
I never know cities, because it's like
dumping waste into my pond.
You instantly enter Cold War era, so everybody only builds underground bunkers everywhere.
Screw you, limey Kyle's car.
I don't even think that's the same model.
It's not, but it looks similar-ish.
I realized the strategy for playing Tekken. Always build a giant, like, city out of dirt, because no one wants to blow it up because it's made of dirt.
I was just building photoreceptors. I was about to make the first, like, top-level solar array when we quit.
Well, we quit because
Ian had actually invented an infinite money machine by the time we were done with it.
It's true.
Someone kind of blew up our everything, and then I blew up their everything.
Whatever happened to those guys?
They probably left.
I mean, we kicked them off our server. That's what happened to them there.
They trolled us and then they left.
And then, shockingly, they've never messaged us again.
Well, I
Which
mean,
is too bad, because they were some of our most dedicated podcast listeners.
I think one of them still comments all the time.
If he does it under a different name.
Want to go to Raymond's Southern Kitchen?
No.
It's just a kitchen. We don't actually get food. We just watch him cook. But everyone loves Raymond. I thought you were going to slap me. I was actually kind of concerned.
I've been tuning them out a lot now. It's weird. My brain has been adapting to only tuning out weird references.
Well, I mean, soon you just won't hear me. My mouth will just be moving, and there'll be no sound coming in.
Next podcast, driving home from Renaissance Fair.
I disagree. The next podcast will be after we refuel at Subway.
No. This was covering non-Renaissance Fair stuff, so we can...
Besides, this is already so long, nobody's going to listen to it.
I'm going to have to cut some of this down already. And
I'm going to listen to it twice, and then cry, because I wasn't there.
On the way back, we can, when it's fresh in our heads, we can go over everything that happened. Which I'm sure will be super interesting, because it always is.
No. See, the only problem is, like, if we do it immediately afterwards, we're going to be tired.
No, we did that last time.
We did that last time, and I remember falling asleep.
You didn't. I've listened to it.
I talked in my
kept
sleep.
talking. You were asleep or not?
I see. Talking in your sleep.
Is that the one that goes like, I don't understand?